and welcome to WorkPro. My name is Tania Evans and I'm here to host today's session showing you the FastTrack integration. So what I've got now is opening the dashboard of WorkPro. You won't need to do that, but what you will need to do to enable this service is log into WorkPro as an administrator and clicking on Marketplace, and you'll choose FastTrack here. And follow the instructions. So these instructions is to raise a ticket with FastTrack. So when you click more information, you'll have the opportunity to send a request through to the FastTrack support team. They will enable the service. We'll do some work behind the scenes. And once that's up and running, what I'm about to show you today will enable you to use WorkPro and its functions or most features and functions inside the FastTrack environment. So once you've enabled the service, you no longer need to log into WorkPro. You can simply log into FastTrack and follow these steps. So you're about to find a candidate. So clicking over here, finding a candidate, entering the person's name and search. Is your candidate that you'd like to understand whether they've completed WorkPro or whether you need to send them tasks to complete within WorkPro. Over here in the quick access menu, and the WorkPro window will appear, which will show the candidate's name, and it will just be checking whether Brody Sam has completed WorkPro or not. So you'll see here, Brody Sam. If I undo this, right, because I'd already connected Brody Sam, that is the reason that was displayed in this window. What you would see ordinarily is a Welcome to WorkPro window, an instruction on how to find Brody Sam in the database. So you're searching for the applicant's name. So in this case, I'm looking for Brody Sam, and I'm searching for Brody. Now, where it may be that there are various Brody Sams in the WorkPro database. So for John Smith, as an example, there may be several John Smiths in the WorkPro database, in which case you'll have quite a long list of John Smiths or applicants' names showing in this list. If that's the case, what you can do is also another window will pop up and you can search for John Smith's email address to make sure that that is the John Smith you're searching for. In this case, I'm looking for Brody Sam, and I can confirm that is the person that I'd like to attach to this record. And so up pops all of the information in this window here. You'll note that unlike WorkPro, where you have several tabs across the page, and if I jump back into WorkPro here, I'll show you what I mean. So you've got this dashboard, which shows lots of candidates' names down the left-hand side. Because you're in a candidate record in FastTrack, we've added a summary screen. So this is basically just showing you everything that Brody has done and the status of his profile. So you can see here there's a police check. He's done a couple of police checks. One is a no disclosable court outcome, and there's a new one that is waiting for him to complete and provide consent. Any modules that have been completed, an expiry date, whether that's his work health and safety or compliance learning has been validated, any licenses, so in this case he has a security license which has now expired. So once you have this information, you can make a decision about what you would like to do next. So in the case of Brody, you may want him to complete new work health and safety inductions. So clicking across here on new request, and this will all be really familiar to you from the WorkPro platform, you're simply clicking on background checks or whatever the task is that you'd like Brody to complete, or dropping down the package and sending Brody the request. So once you've done that, Brody will receive that email alert with the live link, single use token. He'll log in, complete those requirements, and that information will drop back into the FastTrack environment. Outside of that, there is a few things that you can't do within this current version of the FastTrack integration, and those are things like you can't do a bulk Vivo check. You can't send a request to more than one person simply because you're sitting in a single record here. You can't also create packages. So you'll need to go back into WorkPro if you'd like to do any of those things. Where packages is concerned, once you've set up the package inside WorkPro, when you're sending a new request, where I showed you before where you can drop down the package, that's where the new package will appear. And just before I conclude this webinar, this is our first version of our integration with FastTrack. There's been many customers who are using this FastTrack integration very happily. What we're really interested in now is evolving this integration. So right now we're building out what we would call a version 2 of the FastTrack WorkPro integration, which will be using webhooks, and we'll be configuring FastTrack so that you can dictate the data that you would like stored out into the natively into the FastTrack environment, so that you can make searches and filtering much more robust and richer. So right now this is sitting in, you need to think about this is information is sitting inside WorkPro. You've just got a view of it inside FastTrack. So the next version will be drawing out that data out of this window, popping it into a FastTrack field that suits you. So we'll configure that for and with you. And once that's done, that provides an even better experience for you. That concludes today's webinar. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you next time.